Do you think I am a man? Do you think you can bring me back from this? Even if you did, could you ever look at me without thinking about this monster I became? Spider's man.
You will never amount to anything. We shall see, brother. 友人の剣をくれ!
Let's talk about the Spider-Man that comes from Earth 11580. So Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, they're prestigious students that were invited to Horizon Labs by Max Modal. And there they toured the facilities looking at all the advancements that Horizon Labs has. So they came across a colony of spiders. Now, Max Modal and his team were experimenting through genetic alteration and also modification for these horde of spiders and bombarding them with various radioactive rays. During this time, Peter Parker was getting a little bit closer to the horde and an accident ensued. The accident led to him falling into the vat that contained all of those spiders. So what did all of those spiders do? In a very horrific scene, all of those spiders went over to Peter Parker and they consumed him. This left everyone in the biggest gaps, and they were scared out of their minds because there was nothing that could be done to save Peter. So they mourned in the moment, screaming, yelling, everything of that nature. And the spiders that consumed Peter, they started to create a hive mind. What was actually happening due to the genetic alteration through these radioactive rays, they started to form a hive mind, and they extracted the consciousness, right, or replicated the consciousness of Peter Parker himself. So the horde started to form a body, right, 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, but it was basically made up of spiders. And what happened is that horde believed themselves to be Peter Parker. But were they Peter Parker? Yes and no. No, because it wasn't. Peter was dead. You could see Peter dead on the ground. The hive mind truly believed themselves to be Peter. Now, with great power comes great responsibility, and with the responsibility and the power of the hive itself, the hive mind of Peter Parker, they decided to take on the name Spidersman and fight off crime in New York. Now, of course, later on, they came to understand that they were not truly the Peter Parker that we know, but they understood themselves to be Peter Parker. And thank goodness, because if they didn't believe themselves to be a Peter Parker, then they probably would use that power for something else. This is one of my favorite Spider-Mans of all time, just because it really gives relevance into Spider-Man, right? But in this case, it's Spider's-Man, which is pretty cool overall. I love this character, and let's just talk a little bit about his powers. Now, his powers are pretty much the same as the 616 iteration. Now, there is slight differences that we have to induce based on the pictures that were given in the comic books, especially Spider-Geddon. We do see a detachment of various spiders shooting out as if he was using it for an offensive attack, but we can surmise that he could also use it for defensive attacks as well, or not so much attacks, but shields and whatnot, right? This isn't shown often, but we do see it in the comic books. The other thing that we can deduce is there is a character called the Thousand, and the Thousand basically ate the spider that turned Peter Parker into Spider-Man, and then basically all of his body parts were just consumed by spiders because they reproduce and emerge from the inside out. Now, one of the things about that character is that they're pretty much parallel to each other. So because they're parallel to each other, we could deduce that Spider-Man has the same powers as the Thousand, and one of those powers comes in the form of longevity and enhanced healing. Now, if spiders can reproduce, then what's to say that a radioactive horde cannot reproduce on a fast rate as well? And it makes sense, right? Out of all the spiders that make up Spider-Man, Spider's-Man, there's no way that all of them, right, haven't sustained any type of damage. So we can deduce that they're able to heal on a really fast rate through the process of reproduction. If not reproduction, then just cellular regeneration, right? Now, for the Thousand, It is believed that he has a high level of longevity, if not high level, but just longevity in general, and if not, can technically be immortal. Why can he technically be immortal? Because he can reproduce those tiny spiders. And if you could constantly reproduce, then you have an endless supply of just body parts, right? For pretty much forever. Now the same should be true for Spiderman, right? That he has increased longevity, that he should be able to outlive pretty much most of the superheroes in his universe itself. Again, this is one of the coolest characters. Pretty creepy at the same time. So if you're a person who has arachnophobia, then I'm sorry for you. But maybe reading about his character will help you to defeat arachnophobia itself. But with that being said, everyone, I can't wait to do the next character for our Spiders Week. This is Zen from Zen Multiverse saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying the content and Spidersman, drop a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you all later for the next one.